I can never make a film that will be more popular than that one on Letterboxd. My career has begun and ended with this stupid prank I did when I was 22 or whatever. In 2015, end of 2015, I did this project. I had basically ended up in this kind of long-running feud with the British Film Censor Board, because the way it works in the UK is that if you want to release a film, you have to pay the censor board to watch it. I had found this frustrating as an independent filmmaker. I had self-distributed one of my films and I'd had to pay this £1,000 to get them to watch it. But then it occurred to me that the reverse of that was also true, and that if you paid them, they would have to sit and watch whatever you submitted. And so I had the idea of creating a crowd-funded film of paint drying on a brick wall, and the length of it would be determined by however much money I could raise, because they charge per minute. And in the end it raised enough to make the film 10 hours and 7 minutes long, which the members of the British Board of Film Classification dutifully sat down and watched over the course of 2 days in January 2016. But then it had this whole other weird afterlife, because it has a page on Letterboxd, but obviously no one has actually seen it except the members of the British Film Censor Board. People started using it, as I understand it, to kind of write diaries and write anything that there wasn't a place for otherwise on Letterboxd. And I think it now has something like 12,000 logs and a rating so far above any of my actual films. I think it's got a 4.9 on there. I can never make a film that will be more popular than that one on Letterboxd. My career has begun and ended with this stupid prank I did when I was 22 or whatever. I mean, it's bizarre. It's because obviously none of it is about the film or about me in any way. So it's just being this weird bystander to this kind of community space that I'm somehow tangentially related to. I'm definitely not a filmmaker who works well with total freedom. I like restrictions. I like limits, something to push against. Whether that's a kind of stupid conceptual gimmick like the paint drying project, or an actual film that I've now made that's destined to be less seen than the paint drying Letterboxd page. This film being born of me being unable to make another film. Once I came to terms with that, or perhaps I'm still doing so, but once I started to come to terms with it, it felt like a good jumping off point, because I had something to rail against.